So how was your birthday?
My birthday was all right this year, actually.
Well, good. 25?
25, feeling fine. What about you?
Wow, I hit senior citizen status
55.
this year. 55 and full of drive. That's going to be my mantra to the end of the year, to stay driven.
You look good.
Aw, thanks, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
You've
You
always
just saying
looked good,
that
Mom.
as you
Do you know?
touch my gray hair. Was that a gray hair that was spoken out? Yeah. Because I have the lovely pubic
but
coarse kind.
You only have like little strands.
It's nice, isn't it?
Like you're not dyeing your hair, are you? There's no way.
No.
See, exactly.
No, but my friend Christy, thanks Christy, cut my hair yesterday.
I need a haircut.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice because I've been sitting and picking at my split ends for hours. You know how Mom can get a little anxious, and as I'm trusting the universe to bring me everything I need, I have to have some sort of tightrope that I'm hanging on to, and it seems to be me picking at my split ends.
That's exactly how I feel.
Self-harm of some way.
Yeah, I feel the same way with my hair.
Yours is like way thicker and longer than mine. I can't afford to lose any. Or when a gray hair has a split end, which is total different sensation when you pull that bitch apart.
Gray hairs can have split ends.
Yeah, I know. That was news to me too. And it is like what you just pulled out. They want to jump out of the herd.
I know.
They want to just fucking not be down with the other hairs. They got to be like, hey, look at me.
Hi, how are you?
How are ya?
Hi.
Look for everybody to see. She doesn't dye her hair, everyone.
Do you see me shining? Yeah, no.
Oh, well, my shining is castor oil because
it's okay.
when it's 20 degrees, you got to have that.
I'd rather have that one that I can tuck back than the one that sticks up like this at the top of my head.
No, I was just discussing when you pick that as a split end and now you've made it shorter, it has nowhere to go but boing, outside of the herd.
Man.
I know. Women problems. I was just having this conversation not only with myself, because your generation is really on the makeup bandwagon. Like, holy fuck. You
like
kids,
no makeup?
Is that what you guys are doing now? All right. I hope so. I hope that you're balancing it. But all the layers.
This is the first time I've worn makeup today this week.
I know.
But that's because I'm going out
If
today.
I didn't have this place, Mom would be tan.
Mm-hmm.
No makeup.
Oh, in the summer, shit. I'm not going to need makeup.
No, I don't even care. Whatever. But I had come across this dude whose energy seems, on Facebook, of course, seems a wee bit elevated on the egotistical side.
Is that the one where you made that one post where it's like, I fucking see you or whatever?
No, that's a totally different podcast
Love that.
episode. Yeah.
Okay.
No, he was, and this, I've interviewed many men saying when a woman takes their makeup off, quit fucking with that hair.
Sorry, it's just saying hello.
I know it's distracting, isn't it? Can you imagine? Imagine being a man looking at me. Do you think I'll ever get a... Never mind. I know I will. Anywho.
Anyway.
What was I saying?
Egotistical man, Facebook.
Okay, yeah. Posted, but I have interviewed men about this because I had seen a TikTok on Facebook on accident where they were doing this baby wipe challenge as a boyfriend sneaks up on his girlfriend or significant, and wipes off like 6 layers of makeup.
Yeah.
To watch the full-blown fucking rage that these girls go into because of the work. I understand.
I was going to say, it's probably time.
I know.
Into it, first off.
But I get so like, wow, that's a lot of layers. Like, what if it's hot out? What if your eyebrows are melting? And it seems to be eyebrows and eyelashes.
See, that's
a lot of stress. And like, what if you already got anxiety?
Right.
I remember one summer I picked my fucking eyebrow on Carlton. And I picked half my eyebrow, like, gone.
Mother.
Well, I had burned it first, and I was trying to shape it. I know.
Burned it like you dropped a curling iron or something on you?
No, like I was trying to light a roach. Yeah. And it took half my eyelash out.
Mother.
I know. I'll never forget it.
That's funny.
And so I had to, I forget, I don't even want to mention her name on... I'm not gonna, but it was a particular friend's wedding that I had to go to, and it was 100 and fuck outside. And all I could think of is, I know half that eyebrow is gone. Right.
Were you like trying to like pat?
But I never forgot that. Like, how do you bitches that wear all this makeup, like not? And now I see they spray a primer.
Oh,
like,
they
keep
have
that
everything.
Shit.
They even have like blemish shit.
No, I know.
Like to hide.
So now, to be fair, some of that stuff is cool. Like I got, I think it's L'Oreal Invisible, something like it's like a little spongy that you click, 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 click. Uh-huh. And I'm like, damn, that shit really works to cover the age spots. So
I don't know what age spots.
Yeah, because you're 25. I'm 55.
I'm talking about your face.
Yeah, I know. That's how good that shit works.
Throw your eyebrows some more. Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah, increase those lines, Mom. But no,
I can't help that involuntary.
Yeah, I know.
Don't take it personal.
That's how I feel looking at it. Like,
yeah, but how do you think you look? Only you don't need Botox. I would never do that, by the way.
Speaking of Botox,
that
one guy I was telling you about that I wanted to stop in the shop.
The one that you wanted to set me up with?
Yes! I found out why he looks the way he does.
Boy.
For his age.
Boy.
He's, I think, let me remember. I saw him yesterday. He's got to be pushing 63 to 65. That MFer gets like actual Botox done. And yesterday when he came in to see me, he just got this part, whatever. I don't even know what it's called. He just got that part done. And he had sunglasses on. And I go, all right, are you going to show me? And he lifts up his sunglasses. And I go, by golly, you look like a train wreck. He's like, yeah, but the good part will come soon. So he tightened up this.
I could never, I don't know if I could be with a dude that, I don't know. I guess it wouldn't matter, but.
He pulls it off. See,
that's my whole point of that.
Could have fooled me.
You know, I started to writing in my journal about that because I was that post. Not that it triggered me, but I think it's a fair question on both sides. I have a friend from high school whose husband has never seen her without makeup. She sleeps with the shit on or gets up early.
Does she have acne? How does she not?
In the the mascara like Tammy Faye Baker, which you wouldn't remember, but anybody my age remembers probably Tammy Faye Baker, which was a thing. I don't know, but so on the spectrum, and only from my perspective, me speaking from experience that. Few summers where, oh boy, I hope I keep that eyebrow on. Like, holy fuck, the pressure, not only to be pretty, number one.
Right.
And number two, like, be comfortable in the product that you're using, that wherever you go, whatever. Now, I will tell you, I had one experience with false eyelashes. I will mouth her name. And I were going on the annual canoe trip that I used to go on. So I let her take me to the eyelash factory and get some eyelashes.
So this was like the installment ones.
So I didn't have to. Yeah, the one where you go and.
So like someone actually did it. Like
yeah,
you didn't just
like,
buy them.
Wow, it was quite the process to have your eyelashes done at one time. One time. Wow. I mean, as far as if you don't want to wear makeup and you just got your, eyes on, like, woo-hoo, looks like tarantulas. Changed the whole look of my face, number one. Number two, come on. It feels like a tight sweater.
Okay.
Rubber band too tight on top of your eyelids. Blinkety blink, sleepity sleep, stick together. Can't wash that part.
I was going to say, you'd have to sleep like a mummy every night.
There's no fucking way. And this is nothing this is nothing against any of y'all that get primped up and do your thing. Oh my God. I can't do the nails. I was just talking to a college girl and I'm like, I noticed your nails need to be done. I said, how do you run your fingers through your hair?
How do you wipe your asshole?
When it's lifted. No, I know that too. Okay. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
But when they lift right here at the cuticle.
Oh, when they grab your hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. No. No.
So I just did
So
my
that's
nails.
why I have gray hair, dirt under my nails, hang nails that I pick at profusely
You wanna
out
plant
of
shop?
anxiety. Yeah, I know. And the soil thing, that's important. Not to switch gears, but that soil thing I sent
the
you,
video.
that's really important. Don't be
I know.
letting
Did you read
land
my
and prey in
text?
soil that, no, I don't think so.
I said that I didn't get that stuff. I got like the more farmy
Yeah, I like the Kellogg's brand. So if you go to Home Depot, I really do
Home
like
Depot.
Home Depot, you know, if you're keeping it
Uh-huh.
local or not local, but if
That
you
ain't fucking local.
no, I know, but if you're just, hey, oh my God, because I don't sell
I'm
it.
hoping I don't.
But if you want a big bag, I can get it from the greenhouse.
Well, I'm hoping I don't need to this year. I'm gonna see about
Yeah, exactly. But
because I think Jacob has a tiller, right?
exactly. But I just want you to be careful of what you buy for your
Yes, ma'am.
container ones
No, I will.
because that soaks right into your food. It ain't gonna even be worth it.
Well, let me backtrack real quick.
Okay.
That gentleman that comes to the pharmacy.
Okay, yeah, Botox.
I asked him because you know me, I'm such a curious person, and I
I
felt
wonder where you get that from.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm like such a curious person, and I like with our energy, I felt like I was like we were in a
Yeah,
comfortable
right.
place to like ask. I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, no shame, you do you. Like if you got the money, do it. Because he told me how much it cost. Good for you.
Okay,
I was like,
let's back up. What is it? Just out of curiosity. I'm sure the insurance. Don't tell me insurance pays for it.
no, it's a cosmetic.
Okay.
Um,
Give me a ballpark. What's it cost?
between 5 to 10 G's.
Are you fucking with me right now?
I'm not. But I asked him. I was like,
that must be the good kind. That must be the kind that these women are going to get.
Mom, he's someone that always goes to Mexico and all that. He's got like connections with people because of his business that he has.
Yeah, but 10,000 in Mexico seems a bit excessive.
He's worked with a bunch of people that do all that shit, so he's also got like probably hella discounts too.
Oh, so what is it here? 20 grand?
I have no idea. But I asked him.
Wow, that's insane.
I asked him out of curiosity. I was like, not that I think you don't need it, but why do you do it?
That's a slippery slope, yeah.
And he goes,
Mm.
to be honest, I have a congenital heart disease. If you have the money, do it. Do what you want, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay, what's the disease have to do with the Botox? Is it helping or is it so, hey,
Genetic wise, I
look
think it's because he
stress-wise,
knows.
I look older for my age because of my heart issue.
He said that's a story for another time when he talks about his heart disease. But it sounds like he wouldn't be around, I guess, long enough to actually do something with his money.
So it's hey,
it's more of like, hey,
I'm gonna die.
I know I'm not gonna be here forever. Why not?
It would be a great podcast guest.
Why do you think I'm trying to get him in here, Ma?
That's it. That would be.
I'll tell him next time.
Yeah, that would be because
he's got our card. He's got everything.
This is a huge topic, especially go rounding back to where we started on that Facebook post of that dude, and the energy that was given off was more of a "you lied to me" type of energy. Where
then he's stupid.
I get it, but look at it from a man's perspective. If you're looking at pictures, and number one, I don't care how old you are, a woman is putting on these layers of makeup. Then number two, putting on a filter on top of it, sending or posting a picture or putting it on a personal LinkedIn file, a dating profile, or hey, look at me text. And then you meet in person and you're a little taken aback. And we could talk about that in round back. Remember Parkinson's?
So you thinking like he's
remember that little date and that not telling. There is a betrayal there. So I think I agree from a man's perspective to a point, especially on the dating sites. Well, because you could, and trust me, you know, I've written about the dating sites, and men will use pictures where they felt the most on their high horse, and they're most usually from the 80s, and they're still wearing denim jackets. For my age group. Now that your age group's wearing makeup and men, but where do you balance it by, hey, I'm going to send you this picture and this is what I look like all glammed up. This is my glamoring. My glam ring. Now, but I'm going to send you my Al Natural. I am going to send you the scariest fucking picture I have of myself in all my glory.
Mm-hmm.
Can you love both of me? That's a big issue.
Why?
Because, when I've interviewed men and I have heard things like, I can learn to love the ugly side, or she doesn't always have to be pretty, or I like the natural look. And when you get my age, those things, are said in a little different context.
I don't know. I guess it's a little different for your age group.
Oh, it's a lot different
because
it's a lot.
Because
they're having Botox and shit, especially the ones.
But
that
like
can
I'm saying,
it.
I didn't have to worry about that when I was on dating sites.
Sonja, you were all of 25.
I understand that, but I'm saying, well,
I'm speaking on the men I've interviewed where they're feeling like it's a betrayal to see the honest.
Then they are oblivious because you guys all have to know that throughout time, y'all age. It is clear that people...
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, but people older, like your generation, are going to do whatever you want to do to feel young still. Am I wrong?
I don't know, because I don't have those things done to myself. And even if I had the money, I wouldn't. I would never have the surgery to lift my loose skin. I would never have, I don't think.
And that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your preference.
Exactly.
There are other people that also,
We're not talking about that end. We're talking about the betrayal end. Is it a betrayal to be one way, masked, and then, because we all got to go night and take the mask off, or we got to take the eyelashes off at some point, or the nails come off because you got some fucking fungi, or, so can you love the all versions, I guess.
I guess I don't look at it like that. I look at it more of like, I would hope that any guy like that in an older generation would understand and know to not be so oblivious that older women, to feel beautiful, they're going to want to add those filters on top of their makeup. They're going to want to do everything to look compelling to a guy. But I hope that in the end, that guy would understand that there is more to that filtered picture.
You mean like there's
then not be stupid enough to be like, oh, she must look like that all the time. Boy, are you stupid. Right?
That's a really good point.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, but I've never thought of it that way. But yeah, there is a lot of pressure on older women, especially, if you want to factor in Jennifer Lopez and what Jennifer Lopez in the Hollywood world, especially if you're comparing yourself, which I don't.
Right.
But that age group of women who aged, let's just say, wow, you did good. Versus somebody who may be feverishly getting Botox because they love their pack of cigarettes a day, or whatever the case may be.
Well, let me say this.
So I have no issue with anybody getting anything altered. But there's consequences to all of it. You don't know what the long term.
But that's the risk that they're going to take.
Exactly. Right? But I am compelled about the betrayal and how that does bring up a valid point of, wow, you're putting on all these layers and you're adding a filter.
Could be a confidence thing. Could be. But the other way I look at it too is like, okay, if a guy really has a problem like that, what do we have when it comes, like, say, what do men have that they can hide themselves?
A beard, clothing. Men back in the day, if you do the origins of makeup, both men and women wore makeup. And the Egyptians 6,000 years ago wore makeup, both men and women, to appear shinier, I guess, to the gods. Like, look at me, look at me. But then only as it evolved in our culture did it become a tool for confidence, self-confidence, and individualism.
Mhm.
You know, that this is how I want to stand out, and this is the mask I want to put on.
Right.
So there's many, because trust me, I researched it, many avenues that makeup goes down. And oddly enough, you know, whether it be the Native American, Indians, and clay-based or whatever, it all started, which, you know, some cultures still do to this day,
Right.
paint their face. I'm curious of the aspect of, you know, because now we want to be in such a transparent world, but yet that transparent world is somewhat fake.
Realistically, though, in this generation, like in this timeline now, majority of the men, older men in life, don't have all these things to conceal themselves. Like a majority don't always cover up what they wear, how they style their beard, type shit. Yeah, they may dye their hair and whatnot, but
Do you think that they would even be compelled to change their appearance if there wasn't this pressure on appearance for both men and women?
maybe.
Because then we wouldn't care. Because, like, if I had written in this post, like, imagine
Mm-hmm.
if your natural state, your natural face,
Mm-hmm.
was the empowerment, not how good your mask looked. Because it's dirty. Subject to talk about.
Where did we leave off? I already forgot. Oh, I don't know. I think if you're an older gentleman out in the dating pool, I think it's kind of automatic to know that there are women out there that are doing their best to feel as confident and compelling as they.
Oh, well, let's go one step deeper. Do they? I guess I don't even know what percentage I would put on it. The reason why women get all made up, I think there's a large percentage of that, especially if you're single and trying to attract a mate. You might spend a little bit more time on it, but I don't think we would if men weren't attracted to a made up version.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, could I show up to a breakfast date in my fucking jammies with no makeup and eat a donut in your presence with my jelly roll?
Well, here's
hanging
another
out?
thing.
So the pressures of any of that, and the pressures and pretty privilege and all the pressures of even being pretty,
Mm-hmm.
which that's heavy. There's a lot of heaviness that, especially energetically, that's attached to that. So I think for men, and here's the opposite side of that, which is so funny because when I was writing about it the other day, and your dad would get so frustrated because I think women have a habit of even the way that we receive compliments from men.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, wow. And I have for example, the other day I was wearing my hair back in a ponytail, and a dude said, wow, I really love the gray in your hair. And he's like, for a second there, I thought it was a bald spot, and it's gray. And I'm like, I'm not sure I know how to take this,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And he's like, trust me, it's a compliment. He's like, now that I know it's not a bald spot, and it's gray hair. And I'm like, and I said, what if it was a bald spot? And he's like, gosh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Like, what if?
Like, put me on the spot. And I'm like, okay. So there's just so many variables here. And I understand why we get the weaves, not we, because I've never had any of those, but why we're constantly trying to boost our own self-confidence. And I did a post the other day.
I mean, that's
about self-love.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of this could circle back to self-love because I feel like in the truest form of self-love,
mm-hmm.
like the truest form.
I feel like that's a deeper within.
Yeah, well, you got to go.
Yeah, you got to figure that one out.
Yeah, you got something. You're going to be working with some shit.
Uh-huh.
Especially like the Pamela Anderson movement, being famous one minute, and being a Playboy model, and then like, look what I can do. I'm going out with no makeup.
I saw that. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, they're certainly starting a trend, but why do we even have to start a trend? I mean, why does it even have to be a thing? Why does it?
Because it's something to talk about. It's a new topic to talk about online. I feel like that's why.
No, I get why it's a trend that way, but I mean, why if we were in a if we would have evolved in a way where makeup was more for role playing or gotta go to my job, I gotta put my mask on, you know.
That's the last fucking thing
you
I
know,
do. I don't
or
wear makeup to work.
I gotta go to my situationship, or I gotta go to my date. I gotta go to my man because he don't want to see me without makeup. I can tell you, I don't
That's
know if I could
the wrong fucking.
Woo! I was just gonna say I couldn't be with no fucking man that would be like, hey, I think you're beautiful now, but I don't ever want to see you with that. Imagine a dude
the one
saying
thing
this to
I'll
you.
say is, who says I did it for you? First off.
Oh, see, I love the way that you turned that around because that's not. I don't know why that's not my first thinking because I don't ever
because you can't
do it for a man. I do it for
compliments
myself.
like that for yourself
but
easily.
it is definitely a program. But that circling back to the compliment thing, especially if you're chubby in any way, your dad would get mad. Like, why can't you just accept a compliment from me? And if you don't have self-love, you can't expect somebody to truly love you for who you are deep down. But I would wish that I could say a lot of this face painting time
I think that's
in front of a mirror is not happening out of self-love.
One thing I will say is when it comes to dad's masculine and all, but dad's more of like the feminine, like.
Do we really want to talk about your dad on the microphone?
Well, the only thing I will say is when it comes to dad's more feminine side, it's more of like
both pretty well.
It's more of like dad worries about his own look. Like dad is like that kind to be like, oh, I gotta make sure.
You don't say.
I know, but like I think that's why dad had a problem with compliments like that because dad always had his own.
No, your dad was giving me compliments even when I was chubby. Yeah, your dad had definitely.
Like, dad cares about how he looks. No,
I know. He would take him longer to do his hair than it did mine when we were dating. I
go up to him and his beard and I go, hey, I think you need to chop your pubes a little bit. He's like, oh, I know.
His teeth were.
Oh my God, it's still dad's thing to this fucking day are his goddamn teeth.
I know.
Damn you, dad. I don't even know how he still has enamel on his teeth at all.
I have no idea. I have no idea. And he still smokes and all the
love
things.
That man. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. But no, the only thing
he was decent for a time.
Yeah.
I don't know what 20 some odd years, but anywho.
Damn. The only thing I will say when it comes to your generation in dating, no offense to any of the older men, but not gonna lie, a majority of those men probably have had previous marriages, so they must know that their previous wives or any previous relationship, that there is more to a woman than just what she paints on her face.
Good point. That's a very good point. I'm holding out for my divine masculine. I've reached the levels. I've done the things. And if we're going to talk about that, we might as well go real deep. And how I know I'm leveling up is how the universe is sending me back reruns. His nickname.
I take it went his
nickname. He showed up on a live. I was shooting live the other day.
What?
I know, right? Brought me a piece of quiche. He blows through my boundaries all the time.
Didn't he just have?
I don't know. Half the time I think that's a big fat fib. Yeah. But anywho, I know I'm leveling up because the universe is sending me signs to say, let's see if you're still stupid. Let's see if you're still in that frequency of a pattern of attracting narcissistic men, men that like to go blow through boundaries. No, oh my God, no. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone. I'm just saying I'm ready for.
You have a type.
I don't have a type.
Well, I'm saying you have a type that's.
Energetically, I have a type. Yes, ma'am, I do.
Yes,
energetically, I have a type for sure. Yeah. and I want to have fun now.
I'm telling you, I have a feeling it's what's his face.
Well, got to get him in here for the
I'm-
podcast.
I'm fucking trying.
Yeah. An older man, that much older, is a whole nother where, ooh, you know, and then are we being too picky? Because this brings me to another point for something that I was writing about, and I don't know how to even tippy toe around this subject, is can an unvaccinated safely date a vaccinated? And how that is a question that is, yikes. How that is a question that is also, I noticed on some of the dating sites that I was researching for research purposes, not dating, because I have a crush. He's coming for me any day now. Any day! But you never know. I leave it fully up to the universe. All I know is I'm ready and I'm passing the tests. I am blowing through distractions. Now, if what this dude calls me Festy, so I guess we're for the sake of nicknames, he's going to be either Festy or Saratoga in some way. I haven't decided yet, but this particular gentleman who knows that I'm a sitting duck in my store knows I would prefer a heads up text or hey, I'm in the neighborhood.
Then
and has blown the reason why he's been blocked and all the fun things, which is a whole different podcast episode on love bombing and narcissistic men, is that I have asked him not to do certain things, and it's almost as if on purpose he will do those things to see, engage how far he can take the game with me. But he knows that I am a sitting duck here at my place of business, which is for sale, and knows I don't want to make any waves here in the city that he holds a major title in, could possibly be the next mayor here. Who knows? Again, not that he's a bad person. He's just narcissistic, and I know the pattern in which under which they have to operate. But he blows through my boundaries, and like, hey, I just brought you a chai. No, here you go. That day it was alive. I was shooting a live. He brought me in a piece of quiche, and so he's on film. And I love that stuff's happening. I've been getting this text since Christmas from an odd number. I thought it was a stranger. It said Merry Christmas. I'm like, Merry Christmas, because I don't know the fucking number.
Why are you responding?
Just because it's right. So, you see these stories where,
Dateline fucking stories.
Whatever. Exactly. I'm a walking Dateline show. Might as well keep it going.
Jesus.
So I'm like, Merry Christmas. A month later, how you doing? And some of them I don't answer. Like, oh, he must or she must not figure. But the energy feels male to me. So this is since December. Well, a month ago or so, I get this text, and it said, "Do you remember feathers in hawks or something? I forget what some of my signposts. Remember feathers? I was finding feathers. Those years I was finding feathers, and I was like, oh, this is somebody I know. Oh, and I'm like, so do you know me? And he puts, yeah, you've never left my mind. And I'm like, how did we meet? And he's trying to be very mysterious. And I'm like, I ain't got time for this shit. But if that's who I think it is, I'm like, yeah, another narcissistic man.
On that or that?
On my old phone. Because this has been my phone number since before Uncle Josh died. 2015-ish. So, yeah. It is a Match.com date from 2011.
Oh, so you actually found out who it was?
I think this is the only person it can be, because
that's what they said.
He gave me a few cues of who he was, and that my life was a total train wreck when he met me. The farmhouse
before Uncle Josh died.
Oh, way before. It's 2011. But then we reconnected, and it was just before Uncle Josh died, and I met Dum Dum.
I was
So I
gonna
quit
say,
talking
are
to
we
him.
sure this isn't Dum Dum?
No, I know. I totally thought it was Dum Dum.
I was about to call Ben up and be like, yo.
I totally thought it was Dum Dum, but energetically, I don't think it's Dum Dum because I had to look up the number, the area code, and it's an Ann Arbor area code.
Mm.
I know, that's what I thought too. I'm like, this motherfucker, no, he'll be strike 3. It'll be Dum Dum coming out of the woodwork wanting to be like, I found Jesus for real.
Fuck
you
off.
Forgive me?
Fuck off.
Yeah, that ain't ever. Well, forgiveness, that's a whole nother different podcast show. I think I am definitely softening. I don't give a fuck. I know I didn't deserve the things that happened to me. He has his own path and he'll have his own karma to pay. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons out of that nightmare. So I'm gonna take the positive and run with it.
Yeah.
Look at how pretty this place is. Pain. Look at where Mom puts her pain. Because I have this way of doing things out of spite, and this was another thing I was writing about the other day, patternistically, and I can do this because I'm 55. Like, damn, why do I do this? So it appears I'd like to do things out of spite. Right down to my first tattoo, Grandpa would have, stoned me to death. So for Father's Day, what did I do? Got my first tattoo to piss my dad off. Why do I have a tramp stamp?
No offense, Mom.
To piss off a butt doctor. Why did I build this? So many things that I have done that were because somebody told me I couldn't, or you shouldn't, or. So I'm like,
I could have told you this. Well,
I'm gonna do that anyway.
I could have told you this.
Okay, Socrates.
No, I'm not even kidding. You think
it drives?
I've been saying this.
It drives.
I've been saying this to you since I was a child.
Drives me.
There are things that your children see and hear and observe without you even realizing.
I know. We'll have to do a whole podcast on it.
I think we should because I'm psychic at this point.
Oh, are you now?
Might as well be.
I have been born with it.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't.
When a bitch is nose to nose and she's kissing your ass and you know full well she fucking hates you. That's the best.
I don't see you talking to spirits or nothing.
Oh, you don't? You don't see me? You don't, because I know how to do it now.
No, just kidding. I was just talking about that one time, I guess, when I was a baby.
Grandpa Mongar thought I was the spawn of Satan.
Jesus.
Yeah, my mom had to hide it. My mom begged me not to say those things out loud.
Yikes. So
it was very suppressed in my family, very Baptist family. I was not allowed to talk about any sort of premonition. Your idea of Jesus is wrong, Dad, and here's my thesis on Santa. Trust me, my mom begged me, but she also nurtured me behind Grandpa's back. And as far as not so much telling me it was, encouraging me to keep doing it, but not to be afraid of it, that it would make sense one day, and never to abuse my power. Those were the 3 things, and I think I've done pretty good in that aspect. So, but yeah, it was a big no-no. I wasn't allowed. And one of the things that I'll never forget, Grandpa's face because we had the St. Bernards and we had to go out and feed them. And it was wintertime. We had Tipsy. And it was Uncle Roy's turn to do it, but Grandpa made me do it. And I had told my mom that morning that I had a dream about getting wrapped up in the big heavy chains that they had the dogs hooked to, that he ran around my ankles, and it was wintertime, and I got stuck, and I stuck to the snow. And so my mom knew I had that dream, but I'm begging my dad that it's not my turn. I don't want to go feed the dogs. Well, he made me do it. And what happened? It freaked both my parents out that I had said I don't want to do that because that's what was going to happen, and that I had a prior dream of that happening. And I remember that evening my parents fighting in the kitchen Because, of course, Grandpa thought it was Grandma's fault that was the way that I was.
You're the devil.
Because she didn't, nature was her church, and Grandpa,
Grandma was never a
oh no, she stayed
thumper?
home. No.
No offense.
No. Nature in her word searches, her cigarettes, everything was her church. She knew how to, but cooking for the family, those were her big things.
Mhm.
So I heard him hollering at her in the kitchen and wanting to know why he had a spawn of Satan as a daughter. And when you're like 8 or 9 and chubby on top of it, or just starting to get chubby because you're in this chaotic family of the middle child of 5, of nothing but anger and
favoritism and all that.
Yeah, well, I was
not
fair,
you.
I was the favorite
Of Grandpa.
And Grandma. So Grandpa never whooped me. That razor strap hanging in the bathroom, that was Grandpa's pride on his deathbed when I told him, you never touched me. I never did anything wrong. I was too afraid. So, and if I did, I got real good at doing it so I wouldn't get caught. But I'd beg Uncle Josh, can you just be good today? Just be good. And Aunt Lee, she's just all over the fucking place. Because we had a razor strap that hung in our bathroom. I watched my siblings get their ass beat. I watched Aunt Lee get her ass beat at the age of 23, telling Grandpa she's pregnant with Ray. Slapped that Milky Way right out of her hand while me and your great Aunt Sue and Grandma Manga were watching out the kitchen window.
You're kidding.
No, I mean, so it just always, that fight or flight energy constantly. So I never did anything wrong. I was the favored child, right?
That explains why I guess Grandpa lightened the reins as he got older on it, because the only thing he kept reminding me of was my bastard child. And
yeah, but remember, I was disowned after Uncle Josh died, so for a while there, it's not part of the gig, which also had to do with my life, which is a whole nother podcast show. Of the flower shop years from 2000, when I age 37 on up, from when I almost died to now. Woo! I got some stories.
Yeah,
I know, right? So this has been a good 37 minutes with you today.
43, actually.
Nice, we made it. Super cool. Well, it's good to sit and talk with you today.
I know. Another year older.
I know, right? Now.
Or missing his Izzy butt.
So next on my agenda is selling the boutique. What's on your agenda next?
From last week when I started some of my plants here, the next goal I have is a successful garden. Like, that is one thing that I will push myself to actually focus on.
So growth for both of us.
Right? Look at us.
High five. Nice.
No.
Ever evolving.
I tell Ben all the time is I want a garden like we had growing up.
So funny you remember that, because that was a lot of work.
That's all I remember.
And I was like severely obese doing that shit.
I was Dad's like little cooler gal.
Yeah,
he'd be like,
I gotta hand it to your dad. He really was really
Well, what about Lloyd?
Good, yeah. Well,
Lloyd.
Come on, when you have a garden that big, you ain't tilling that shit by hand.
I mean, Dad would still have to like retill some like lines or whatever.
I know, but I was still out there, fat as could be, with the push mower and the sickle and the hoe. Gonna be a hoe down, man. I know, but remember those zucchinis that got to be like
humongo,
ginormous.
Yeah. No, I want a garden. I have a cute little spot to do it. Excuse me. No, I want Landon and more little rugrats to go out and grab shit for me.
Cute.
Like you would for me.
So are you going to can your bounties? Are you gonna
one step at a time, but that's my goal.
Well, you can. It's easy to freeze. Your first step is kind of like,
I need a deep freezer for that.
Some stuff that you can freeze.
I have a fancy fridge, but my freezer is only so big.
Yeah, but if you do it in small batches, where
I do want to get like Grandma Lopez though, and like have shit just to fucking use.
But don't get too overwhelmed in it.
And that's why I'm I want a successful year of gardening, and then from there, now that I know what I'll do, I'll add, canning to it next.
Well, I'm selling the boutique and I'm going to travel abroad. I think possibly ayahuasca in Peru.
Mm.
Freelance job when I get back. I may look into sales rep jobs for fresh flowers, possibly abroad.
Ooh.
Peru. I know. Wouldn't that be fun to be a broker
That would
from
be
that
fun.
side? It could be a translator of some sort.
The fuck are you gonna translate?
From people from America ordering flowers in Peru.
Uh-huh.
On the American speaking sales.
You speak
rep.
Espanol?
No, but it's on my bucket list to learn.
Let's learn together. I want to learn.
Hey, you want to?
I would.
All right, let's make it a picky swear.
But no, I'm not kidding. Like,
I know.
At least so, like, fluently.
Well, I want to be able to recognize what
I can understand most of what's said if they're speaking
energetically, but traveling abroad, I would like to learn like a basis of Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
So, the places that I want to go probably would be primarily Portuguese, Spanish.
And obviously, we're still expanding this. That'll be another.
Oh, this is totally part of this.
Yeah.
To be able to talk about it. And I'm glad that Spencer, media guy, gave us the okay, like, hey, he doesn't sound too bad. Because we're not here for the sound people. Kind of are, but not really. The equipment, well, it has to be very simple when you want to take it on the road. To be able to put somebody on the phone and put them on speaker and put the microphone in front of it would just save a lot of...
it'll be easier, too, when you have, like, a different, like, wiring setup. Like, when you can have it just, like, set up to you. Like, the whole earpiece type shit. Or even...
Yeah, you'll have to show me how all that works once we get more advanced. But I think we have to focus on sponsors. Still debating.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Local.
Ascend. Are you here? Do you hear me? Ascend Cannabis Store, Lake Michigan Credit Union, and Todd Wenzel. I'm taking that Buick on the road. And Todd Wenzel, my Google review on your personal review of Todd Wenzel and how the process went to lease this vehicle from you, from Justin and all the fun guys that were involved, has just hit 31,000 views. Just so you know. So check out my Google profile. It's a little bit more exciting than some of the other profiles, but I'm definitely one you want to sponsor soon. Coming soon. So pay attention. Stay tuned. And all the fun things. So how would you like to wrap up today's content?
I don't know. The only thing I can really think of is...
We'll think of some more topics. We'll think of we'll have a special feature now on the end of our podcast, something mystical or positive, something with a message in it, quite possibly for every episode now. So bear with us, and thanks for being here. Toughing it out during the real and raw. It's always going to be real and raw, but these are the preliminary stages of where Route 37 podcast is headed. Woo!
Yeah, I'm very hopeful for this upcoming season. Going into this year. See the sun starting to poke out. Spring's coming. It's getting warmer. I literally was just telling Ben on the way here, I go, it's freckle season, and I'm ready. I miss my freckles. I'm ready to be a couple shades darker.
Oh my God, I'm so ready to be fucking tan. I'm so ready to go on some road trips. I'm so ready for my business to sell.
I know, no offense, but I don't like looking adopted because you, Dad, Jacob, and Isabel.
We're the same color right now.
Right now, yes, but in the summer, y'all look obviously like a family compared to me. I look like the outsider.
Well, you gotta get your ass in the sun this
summer. The widow white outsider.
Yeah, but your dad's side of the family, even though being, I don't even know what they want to be called, Latina, Mexican, Hispanic, whatever. They're all blonde hair and blue eyes naturally with the freckles that you got. So I take pride in my freckles. I look more ethnic than they do. So, well, because of your guys' more ethnic looks, I still look like the outsider sometimes. Even my child is a couple shades darker than me in the summer. Did you see my Facebook post about that turtle that they named Jennifer Lopez? No. And that's my initials. Jennifer S. Lopez.
Jesus.
And I'm like, Slopez.
They used to call me Slopez at school.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not slow.
First initial S.
I am not. I know.
Maiden name Lopez.
I just
Yeah.
made the connection like Jennifer Slopez.
I also,
I'm Jennifer Flopez.
I'll tell you this too, real quick. I used to get jealous that you and Jacob had a nickname at Saranac, J-Lo. And at school, at Saranac, everyone would always refer to Jacob as J-Lo. And I never had a nickname. So my teachers and friends gave me, well, Dad started the trend in sports.
Solo, right?
Yeah, Solo.
Yeah.
So that's how I got my cool name.
That sounds way better than Slopez.
Well, that was more of like username basis for like school and whatnot.
Oh, I get it. You
Yeah.
didn't have much choice.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, alrighty then.
Until next time.
All right, mommy loves you.
I love you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.